So up first, we have Deputation 7.1. And I understand that Manjula Das, who originally was going to be the deputant, who is the Secretary for Applewood Hills and Heights Residents Association regarding the Bloor Street Integrated Project, will not be joining us today, but in her place, Athena Tagadou will be joining us. Is that correct, Diana?
Yes, it is.
Okay, and is she
She's here.
Online? Okay, thank you very much.
Good morning. Mayor Crombie's not in attendance from YDC, but I will begin, and thank you very much for this opportunity. Good morning, members of City Council, city staff involved in the Bloor Street Integrated Project for Ward 3, and all City of Mississauga staff. On behalf of the Applewood Hills and Heights Residents Association, I will now address the community petition that has been submitted with this agenda, requesting that no bicycle lanes anywhere on Bloor Street between Cawthra and Dixie be constructed by the city so that the safety and lives of the public who use this section of Bloor Street daily is not endangered. Section 7 of the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms pertaining to public health hazards states that after a review of relevant Canadian court decisions, it has been determined that Section 7 does extend to protecting members of the public against government decisions and that create a serious public health hazard. Provinces have laws that give broad powers to identify and deal with health hazards, recognizing the importance of protecting the public from preventable death or injury. Quote taken from Charter. Section 7 of the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms further provides, and I quote, "Everything has a right to life, liberty, and security, the person and the right not to be deprived thereof." It further defines as follows: right to life. This means state action that increases the risk of death involving the right to life. This includes indirect actions such as barriers to health care for life-threatening conditions. Quote was taken from the Charter. The city, by constructing bicycle lanes on Bloor Street between Cawthra and Dixie, will increase the risk of accidents resulting in serious, debilitating injuries or death as homeowners and businesses on a daily basis struggle to negotiate the bicycle lanes while exiting or entering the extremely busy 4-lane Bloor Street from their homes and or businesses. Pedestrians using the sidewalks as well as drivers backing out of or entering their driveways are exposed to dangers from speeding cyclists who cause serious accidents as they presently use sidewalks whenever they choose. This past summer, there were 2 cycling vehicle accidents at the Bloor-Runnybrook intersection causing serious injury and, from what is known, death to one of the cyclists. Point 2, rights to liberty. This means right to enjoy individual dignity and independence, including decisions about how a person wants to live his or her life, and freedom to make fundamental personal choices such live in safety, protect oneself and family from bodily harm. Quote taken from the Charter. The city, by constructing bicycle lanes on Bloor Street between Cawthra and Dixie, will strip us of the freedom to make fundamental personal choices of our individual dignity to live without fear and the individual independence to choose on how we live our lives in our homes as well as out on Bloor Street. And finally, usurp from us our right to make fundamental personal choices to live in safety, protecting our lives, ourselves and our families from bodily harm. Point 3, rights to security. Has a physical aspect and a psychological aspect. The physical aspect includes state action that prevents a person from making choices that affect a person's own body. The psychological aspect is affected when a person experiences serious state-imposed day-to-day stress. Quote taken from Charter. The city, by constructing bicycle lanes between Cawthra and Dixie, will subject the public to serious state-imposed daily mental stress, anxiety, fears, negatively impact people's lives, and prevent a person from making choices to protect his own and his family's body. Point 4, principles of fundamental justice. Section 7 of the Charter requires that laws or state actions that interfere with life, liberty, and security of the person conform to the principles of fundamental justice. The basic principles that underlie our notions of justice and fair process. Quote taken from Charter. Canada is a democracy, and no one is above the Canadian law. This Bloor Central area, as identified in the Bloor Street Integrated Project, is the only section, and I repeat, is the only section from all other same or similar city projects which has residential homes and driveways directly fronting onto Bloor Street. There are 101 residential properties, 3 condominium buildings, 2 rental buildings, as well as a plaza with over 18 businesses, 3 professional establishments, a preschool, and an auto mechanic shop, all with direct and entrance exit to Bloor Street only. More than 75% of the residents, as well as Applewood Hills Plaza owner, and medical building, daycare, auto center, and in the Bloor Street Central area support this petition of no bicycle lanes on the stretch for the safety of all pedestrians, drivers, and cyclists. The majority of the residents and businesses located directly on Bloor Street between Dixie and Cawthra have spoken loud and clear and have made Ward 3 Councillor Fonseca fully aware of all the danger she will be putting them into should bike lanes be placed. We have alerted you to the accidents you will be exposing us and our families and business clients to on a daily basis. As public officials appointed to uphold the Canadian Constitution, your actions are governed by the Canadian Charter. There are legal implications which have been made known to you of any accidents that will result from bicycle lanes on Bloor Street between Cawthra and Dixie. With full knowledge of risks of accidents, you would be placing Ward 3 residents and all public in harm's way, and you will not be able to plead ignorance of the implications of your actions nor ignorance of the Charter and its provisions as a defense in legal actions that will result in future. Kindly exercise discretion, responsibility, compassion, and wisdom, and be governed by the Charter when making a safe and litigation-free decision to have no bicycle lanes on Bloor Street between Dixie and Cawthra of this Bloor Street Integrated Project. Thank you. And please note that we are receiving more letters from residents who live directly on Bloor Street who are not in agreement to bike lanes on Bloor Street and between this particular section between Cawthra and Dixie. And as mentioned, this is the only area from the other projects as well, including the Rathburn Pony Trail one, that does not have, this is the only area that has homes and businesses that directly front onto Bloor Street, and this is the only access to get out of their homes is via Bloor Street. Thank you very much for your time, and if you have any questions, please do ask me and I will respond.